First of all, I want to tell people that you got a lot of information on the mohanji.org website as well, where there's a lot of details on the program, and yeah, and you can go there and register as well. People are asking, is there still room available? It's all there. So, yeah, Anand has put in the chat where the website link is there. You can go in and see all the FAQs as well, what all itineraries are there in the program, what are the important snan dates, and how to reach Prayagraj as well, and all these details. But this is an opportunity to ask the questions and uh, questions on the program. Any doubt that you have, there's an opportunity to ask. So Madhu is still on the call, but if anybody has any questions, you can raise your hand, and then we'll give you the opportunity to ask. The first,
Hi, Harish. Harish, can I just pitch in? I would
yeah, yeah,
request most of the people who can, please, if they can switch on their cameras, it looks better. Otherwise, it looks as if we are just staring at the screen. It doesn't look like a interactive session. Thank you.
good to see videos coming up. Nice. Okay, I'm going to go to the first question, which Liz has asked. I paid the deposit and keen to know if refund periods have been extended because until cost publish, I'm not sure if I have funds. So is the cost finally given? Like, they
Given, it's all
previously
given. It's all announced. It's all
it's
announced.
not announced. It's there on the website now. All the
It's there on the
details of.
website. I'll post the link on this chat also so that
I
people
think
can.
he has posted. Anant has posted the
Okay,
website
okay.
link. Um, I think there you can go and book. Yeah. Anybody has
Yeah.
any questions? You can
But
just
but
And
raise your
but
uh, in
but
any
hasn't
case, Liz, if you need
yeah?
a few more days, don't worry about it. If you're not able to make it, if let's say 15th becomes 20th and you decide not to come, it would be a bit disappointing. But your money is not at risk. Don't worry about it.
Okay, no, it's just I'm away for data next weekend, so I've got to decide within the next few days, really, if I've got
No
the
problem.
funds.
You need a
So
few more days, you can keep. It's not going to, don't worry. You're not going to lose your
okay,
money.
thank you very much. That's really helpful. Bye.
Yeah,
Have a
yeah.
nice day.
You need,
We have Supriya who had raised questions. You want to go ahead and ask your question?
Yeah, so I was planning to come for the 13th and the 14th, the first 2 days and
Mhm.
days following. My question was whether we need to reach on the 12th or the 11th.
Uh, Preferably 12. I mean, we are right now racing against time to get the whole camp ready because construction started a few days ago. Hopefully, everything will be done. There
Uh-huh.
might be a little bit of maybe finishing touches to be done, but Mohanji himself is reaching on the 12th. And
Right.
14th
Okay.
is the Shahi Snan. 13th
Okay.
is when we are officially opening the village. So we have the
Right.
Ganapati Homa and a few other pujas in the morning. And
Right.
earlier, our plan was only to go for the dips on the Shahi Snan days, which is the 14th of January, 29th, and the 3rd of Feb. Then
Correct.
later, Mohanji said that there are other dips which are not maybe Shahi Snans, but they're also auspicious days. So he would like to go for the others. So we now have a dip on the 13th as well.
Correct. So because
So
everywhere they are
go
saying
ahead.
that like the roads and everything will be closed for 2 days and it will be better to come on the 11th.
The
And that's
12th is
why I was
still okay.
asking.
12th will be okay. 12th should be okay. Many other people are inviting people on the 12th. I mean, you could come on the 11th. I mean, there's no problem for you coming on the 11th. Um,
Will
just
there
putting a
accommodation be available to stay on the
it's
11th?
we will be there. Our people will be there already.
Right.
Accommodation will be available. I'm just putting a little caveat that there might be some niggles because we will. You have to understand the setup. This was plain sand.
Yeah.
On plain sand, we put a shed. Then we are building cottages, tents. We are building piping system. We are building floor for the bathroom. We are building, putting a cistern. We are building a sewage pipe. We are building a hot water line and putting geysers. All of this is happening in 1 month. So
Right.
it should be done. Our target date that we've given the contractors is the end of this month.
Right.
But I'm expecting that they will not. I mean, I would be super surprised if they did everything exactly as they have committed. But even if we take a week extra, we will sort them out. That's why we are all going early. So
Okay.
you come on the 11th, there shouldn't be a problem. There might.
Okay.
I'm just sensitizing that. Please be aware that it is the first day, so there
Yeah.
might be some teething trouble. As
Okay.
long as people are understanding of that, there's no problem. Because the cook's also reaching on the 11th. Because see, we have to set up the whole kitchen as well. So that we are starting from the 10th. The cook's reaching on the
Okay.
11th morning. So if you come by 11th evening, anyway, it will not be a very big crowd on the 11th. Um, worst case, we can give you Maggie. So
But on the booking on the website, I can only book from the 12th. So how do I make the extra payment for the 11th as well? Whom can I
we,
contact somebody?
please write to events at Guru Light and we
Right.
can sort that out so that we add that from the 11th because the you are asking a couple of people actually booked for the 11th without asking. So we have to anyway make accommodation arrangements for that.
Okay. Brilliant. So yeah,
So,
I'll
yeah.
email. I had
Just please
another.
email them. Mhm.
Gone.
No, go ahead.
Um, the other thing I wanted to ask is, for going when we are going back, would there be a transport to the airport?
We will arrange it. So
Okay.
for all pickups and drop, what we have said is we will facilitate it. So we are
Okay.
tying up with the transport agent who will provide cars as per our requirement. You can pay that person directly. We are not taking the money for that.
Got it.
We are facilitating it. So you can pay the contractor directly, the travel agent. There will be
Okay.
fixed rates for a car depending on the category of the car. There will be fixed rates. So you just have to pay that.
Brilliant, brilliant. And my last question was, are the tents heated? I've got my mother coming who's like 75 and up, and I just wanted to make sure. Otherwise,
Uh,
I'll carry stuff for her comfort as
we
it would be
can't put
very cold.
heating. See, they are fire hazards. We can't put
Okay.
heating. So we'll have blankets. So, but anyway, in our website also, we have suggested to people to carry warm clothing.
Okay.
Because even in the room, we can't put heating simply because of the fire hazards.
Got it. Again.
Madhu, I
And
would like
also,
to
and
add
also,
something.
and also one more point, one second. Please.
Yeah.
It's also a question of electrical load. See, we
Yeah.
are working with the electrical load, which is being provided temporarily for our setup as well as others. I mean,
Mm,
earlier we had an issue even getting hot water geysers. When we went in 2019, we didn't have hot water in our rooms. So we had to actually go outside, fetch it in buckets from
got it.
a wood-fired boiler. After 2, 3 days, everybody gave up because of the queue and everyone started having cold water baths. So this
Okay.
time we are arranging for hot water geysers and we've actually paid a hefty price for the electricity connection because our our electricity load shot up the minute we brought in hot water. But we already
Mm,
made that arrangement, so there will be hot water available in the bathrooms.
okay.
So
Okay.
we
Thank
will
you.
have that. But if you put heaters and so on, it's just going to go through the roof, in which case then they will ask us to get a transformer. We won't be able to afford all that. And see, please understand, everything is for 45 days. The whole setup is for 45 days.
Mm,
So we are actually buying pots, we are buying mattresses, we are doing all of that. We still have to figure out what we're going to do with 100 mattresses, 100 cots, and all of that at the end of it. I mean, we don't quite know what we're going to do. But
yeah.
that is a problem to solve later. At the moment, there was the option of renting, which we've chosen not to do. So we're buying.
Okay. That is fine.
Sorry, Didi, you were
One
saying
more
something.
thing, which was mentioned on this, as you asked for the heating, we would request everybody to take their hot water bottles. We go a bit behind in our lives, where when we used to use those rubber hot water bottles to keep the beds and to keep our body warm. So I would request everybody to carry that so that people can just fill in hot water into that, and they can use it to warm up themselves. Uh, as Madhu said, again, I would like to just mention it that, see, if you go now, It's just on the banks of the river. There is nothing else there. There is no construction, nothing. They have flattened that land next to the river and given it to us, and we are creating this whole space for 45 days. So if you expect that it would be like a hotel, we will have amenities. Of course, we are trying to make it as comfortable as possible for our people who are coming, but it's just that you have to manage with that. Electricity will be there, water would be there, attached bathrooms are there, geysers for hot water is there, but it's not like a hotel. It's like when you go for camping, but better than camping, of course. Murtiji, you can go to the website and check on the prices. The prices are given on that. Harish, over to you.
Yeah, before we answer other questions, I just want to people to understand like how would a day be in the Mohanji village? Like somebody comes onto the village and they stay. How would a day be? Like what all activities would be
What
there?
Mohanji's guidance is that we start early. Like you can get up, you can have a bath. There will be an early morning homa, which will be done. Homa means the fire ceremony will be done by our priest every day. You can attend to that. You can do your own sadhanas. People are taking sadhanas for themselves. He said, if you do 45 days of your own sadhana, any chant which you feel resonated, any god, goddess, or any chant, if you feel like guru, you can do that for 45 days. Then, as the sun comes out and it becomes a bit warmer, if you want, you can go for dips as well every day. Some people will be going for that, but it's optional. Everything is optional. Nothing is compulsive that you have to do that. And then yoga will be there, then breakfast, and then various programs of Mohanji. Our Acharyas would be conducting programs. Uh, so it would be like a retreat as we all have when you attend a retreat in any of the MCBs or other places. Madhu, up to you.
I'm sorry, I had to take a call. Mohanji for this topic. So,
The
what was the
question
question?
was, what would be the day at the Monji village for peoples? I
Okay.
mentioned
Yeah.
that we start early. We start early with, like, many people will be taking sadhanas. You can do your
Mm.
sadhana, freshen up, have a bath, and then homas will be happening early morning every day. You can attend the homas. Yoga will be happening, chanting, all those things will be happening like any other retreats that we have in our Mohanji programs.
Yeah. No, that's correct. So the idea is that it will be a daily retreat. So while we have created, if you see our website, we've created these buckets of different themes over the period of the Kumbh Mela. But that is not a restriction on anybody that you have to attend all four or all three at the same time. You could attend as per your convenience. So it's just in terms of organizing the entire 45 day through some themes, which is why we put those themes together. But every day there will be, like P.T. Google said, there is a structure to every day. What we have also kept is 3 to 4 hours of spare time every day between, let us say, 11:30 and 4:30. So that can be used for people to go around and get a feel for the Kumbh Mela area. Some of those days we will facilitate also. We are still working through the details. I'll just add that caveat. No? We will have someone to help our groups go around it, and we kind of create like a guided tour. Once we ourselves get an understanding of the layout of the whole Kumbh and which one is more important to attend and which one is, kind of like a highlight, we create a guided tour so that we can also tell people. Um, does that answer the question? I'm sorry, who asked the question? I didn't hear the
No,
question.
I just put this in between so people understand, what is the daily structure. Sriram
Yeah.
had a question, but I think he
Hmm.
has raised his hand also. Like, Sriram, do you
Okay.
want to ask directly?
Sure. Thanks for doing that. Yeah, we want to travel from Toronto, Canada. We have restrictions, obviously, like everybody else, about vacations from workplace and things like that.
Sure.
So at the moment, it could be just be me, or it could be the four of us, which is wife and kids. Just
Mhm.
wondering if Mohanji's schedule, if we wanted to attend his birthday and have a
Yes.
holy snan as well, what would be the
Mhm.
best days to do that so that we are accompanying him?
Um, Mohanji, I mean, we published his entire schedule on the website because this is important information for everyone, but I will repeat now. Mohanji intends to be there for the bulk of the Kumbh Mela. There are two blocks of dates when he's not going to be at the Kumbh Mela. One is from the 19th to the 24th or the 25th of January. The second is between the 5th and the 9th. He's leaving on the 5th and he's coming back on the 9th. So these are two blocks of days when he's definitely not going to be there. He will, of course, be there for his birthday. On the 24th, he has to go to Delhi because there is a conference that he's a keynote speaker at on the 25th, an Indo-Japan partnership conference. So we are trying to see if he can be back at Prayagraj on the 26th because he would like to be there for the Snan. The only reason he would not come back is if logistics are prohibited or stopping him from doing that because he's going to be busy in that conference till the evening. And flights to Kumbh Mela, I mean, flights to Prayagraj from Delhi are typically in the afternoon, not early morning. So if that logistic constraint were to be challenged, then he would skip Mahashivratri. But we will celebrate Mahashivratri in our campus. That is for sure. Because it's very, very rare that Mahashivratri actually happens during the duration of a Kumbh Mela. I think it's probably very few times it has happened in the history in the last 100 years. It's a very rare occasion. And we will be doing an all-nighter Homa like we normally do. So people can sign up to offer coconuts and whatnot. So the usual celebration that we do every year, we will offer and everybody is welcome. Sit for that ceremony through the night. Mohanji's availability on the 26th, we are still working on it, which is why we have not confirmed yes or no. If it is possible for him to be back that morning, he will be there. That's what he told us.
Okay, yeah. So because I think we not just us, we've talked to a few of our Mohanji Canada devotees, and the feedback kind of was that, and I don't mean to speak for everybody, I can speak for myself. Is that obviously if Mohanji is there, we're gonna fly 13,000 kilometers to Prayagraj, but if he's not going to be there, it's going to be kind of sad for us that
Fully
he's not going to
understand.
be there
Yeah.
during the snan. So that's the reason why I asked.
Yeah.
So we can. So, I'm obviously we're looking for tickets. We've already applied for vacation and it's all approved. Just be proactive.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. So 23rd, 22nd, 23rd, 24th, he's there. 24th afternoon, he will leave.
okay,
For the birthday, he's certainly there. We are yet to work out if we can do a dip around that time because at that
okay,
time, there are no, many of the Snan days. We did speak to him, but we don't yet have information, which is why I'm not going to make a promise that we
of
will have a
course.
dip at that time also. Um, but Mohanji said, okay, we will consider it because if there's a lot of people and many people want to come for his birthday, and obviously people living far away from India can't come twice. I mean, it's just not practical. So there is still hope. Let's say fingers crossed for a dip in that time frame.
A last question. So I'm more than sure there's going to be a bunch of foreigners, Indians who are foreigners now. So I know our payment systems for foreigners, the UPI pay systems, is now extended to some foreigners.
Mhm,
Um, could you maybe help us with that? Because I would personally like to travel without cash. So if we have a
mhm,
QR code for UPI for Mohanji India, then
mhm.
whatever we need to offer to Homa or we need to do that, that would
You
be
can
much
do that.
easier for.
You
Yeah.
can do that. You can
Okay.
pay at the Kumbh Mela itself. We'll have, both the swipe machine as well as the QR code printer
Okay.
because there will be some people who want to pay with card. I mean, it is a good idea that you don't travel with too much cash because we will have security guards and so on. But see, our campus is about 1 acre
Mm.
and there are some public spaces. So much as we will do what we can to keep things secure, I mean, people should be careful. So please don't carry valuables. Don't wear expensive chains and diamonds and stuff like that. Please don't. Just be sensible and be safe. Yeah, you'll have opportunities to do QR code and everything else. Worst case, if it's people that we know, even if you have to go back and pay, it's not a showstopper. We can always, we are quite flexible that way. We've always been flexible like that, and we will continue to be flexible.
Okay, thank you, Madhu, for the answers. So I look forward for the for the updated schedule. I understand you're working very hard.
No, I don't think we will have an update in the next couple of days. I mean, just to be very clear,
Yep.
I don't know when we will have the update because, see, for us, the only way Mohanji can be back in Prayagraj on 26th morning is if he was to take a train. We can't do a train booking before 60 days. So till the 26th of
Yeah.
December, 25th of December, we won't know.
Real chicken, crispy bacon, avocado, cucumber,
Melissa,
corn,
can you please
cherry.
go on mute? Yeah, thanks. So till the 25th of December, his Shivratri schedule is not going to be particularly available to us.
That's fine. At least
That's
as long as the schedule is not going to be out on the 20th of December, I don't think that's going to be that case. But hoping that you have a schedule for the snan, updated snan, or when Mohanji is going to be available. At least then we can plan our trip and buy our airline tickets.
okay. We will try.
Yep.
I mean, we'll just take a note of that and try.
Okay.
Get
Thank you,
that
guys.
information.
Thank you.
What do you
Thank
think? Yes, Himali.
Hi, Madhu, Preeti, everyone
Hi,
who's
hi.
organized this. Thank you so
Hi,
much.
Monali.
You partly answered my question, Madhu, but I just wanted to clarify because we're in the States, and a couple of us have already booked our tickets, and it was with the understanding that there would be a snan on the 23rd. So we're literally coming 23rd to 26th, because of very
Okay.
tight schedules, young
Hmm.
kids, etc.
What time are you reaching on the 23rd?
So we're actually arriving in Delhi on late 21st night, and we're trying to get into Prayagraj on the 22nd. But I don't think, as you mentioned, there are only afternoon flights. So I don't think we'll be
Himali,
there before. Yeah. Yeah, Preeti.
there are the Indian Railways are
Hmm.
trying about 700 trains to be starting from Delhi, Bombay, other places.
Hmm.
So I don't think so, and they are good trains. It's not that they are in bad shape or anything.
Hmm.
You can look at the train options as well. So the trains actually from Delhi reach early morning as well. But yeah, that depends on how comfortable you are on a train journey.
No, it's also about the time we're arriving in Delhi. I don't think we'll arrive in time to catch a train to be in Prayagraj on the
Like if you are
22nd.
arriving late on 21st, you can take any of the day trains or night train on 22nd.
Correct. Which will probably get us there at the same time as a flight, a 45
No,
minute
flights
flight.
actually, we are still not sure. If maybe there might be an increase of flights as well, but at the moment we don't have those informations.
Hmm.
But the trains actually are early mornings that you can reach early morning or a bit mid morning as well. But flights are more towards the afternoon.
Yes, I saw that. No, my question was also, thank you so much, Preeti. My question was also around the Shahi Snan that was on the 23rd. I know you said that you're still considering it.
Not a Shahi Snan on the 23rd. 23rd is Mohanji's birthday. Okay, so we could
I
consider
know,
it a
but
Shahi Snan.
in the original poster, that's maybe I saw things. I don't know, because
No,
in the
no, what
original
we had
poster I
said,
saw
the
that yeah,
original poster said Shahi Snans. It was highlights.
yeah.
Birthday, Mahashivratri. The
Uh,
original poster
hmm.
will it said Shahi Snan separately, Mohanji's birthday and Mahashivratri as highlights of key events. So there wasn't actually a plan for a dip on the 23rd. There is a plan for a dip on the 26th. The only open question, as I said a few moments ago, is whether Mohanji is able to make it back in time for the 26th dip or not. So that is the only thing that is open. 23rd, we didn't have a plan for a dip, and I'll explain to you also why it is not practical. 23rd is when we are expecting 100 plus people at the camp, and we have the whole birthday program to happen that day. And given logistics of how that program involves a lot of preparation, taking 100 people to a dip and coming back is at least half a day gone. So it's going to be a challenge to manage both in the same day, which is why we're not planning a dip on the 23rd. but we might have a dip on the 26th. We will have a dip. Whether Mohanji is available or not is yet to be confirmed. So the poster said Shahistan dips, Mohanji birthday, and Mahashivratri. It didn't suggest that all of them were dips. It said that these are the highlight events. So that what we have then amended it later, which is recently based on Mohanji's intention, do more of the major dips. We've added more of the dates where we are going to do dips, which Mohanji personally wants to go and lead the dip, which is the 13th of January, the 4th of February, the 10th of February, and the 12th of February. So we've added 4 more dates to that.
Okay, thank you. So it essentially means that he'll be there on the 23rd, but and after that we don't know if we'll get to see him, basically.
24th he's there. He's only going on the
24th
afternoon of the
also.
20th. No,
Okay. And
24th.
there'll be a satsang, hopefully around that time.
We'll have to plan that out. I mean, it depends on his flight timing. If we have to, we can request him for a satsang that morning.
Got it. Thank you so much. Thank you.
No problem. Before I come to you, Hemant, there are some questions on the chat which let me just
Yes.
answer because there's a question from Maria about what do tents mean and so on. These are double fly canvas tents. They are not made of solid material. They are canvas material, but they are two fly. So it's not a single layer. There's an outer layer and an inner layer. So it has, because of that, a little bit of insulation, but it is not a solid wall, which is why we're calling it a tent. The one with the solid wall is a cottage, which has a tin shed outer and a plywood wall inside with a block fabric covering. So that's and a wooden flooring attached bathroom. So that's the cottage. So that's the first question that you asked about the nets. Second question was about how far is the accommodation from the main road? I don't know how to answer this question because you'll have to take some accommodation. So in some transport, you have to take a taxi or something like that, and they have to bring you to the camp. From the main road, the law. See, there is one road which runs parallel to the river, and we are, literally parallel to that road. But that you can't really call the main road. From the actual turning into which we come in, that's probably 4 to 5 kilometers, 4 to 5 kilometers. If that helps you, but you don't know the orientation, so I'm not sure how that answer is going to help you. You can ask me what exactly the question. And
Basically,
one second.
what
I'll answer the next question. What else is in the tent? You'll have cots with mattresses and blankets and lights and so on. So you do not sleep on the floor. And there will be, of course, a carpet covering. So there is a base which is made, so it's not sand. So there is a base on it to provide insulation, and there are mattresses, and of course it has walls and everything else. So it will be comfortable. It's not luxurious, but they're comfortable.
and switches to charge your phones. Of course,
Yeah.
not heavy electrical items, but at least you can charge your phones. And secondly, Madhu, why I intervened, I'm sorry, was that what I could understand from her question was that maybe it is that they would have to walk a long period to get to the camp. Uh, on the normal days, no. The cars or the taxis can come till that camp. You don't have to walk. But it's only if you're coming one day before the Shahi Snan or the special Snan days, there might be an issue that the authorities, if there is a heavy inflow of crowds, they stop the flow of vehicles into the Mela in that area. So then you might have to walk for longer periods. But otherwise, on normal days, or if you come 2 days before the Shahi Snans or the normal, like the special Snan days, the cars or the taxis can come till the village. You won't have to walk.
Okay, I'll answer. Maria, as I said, there will be a floor. Of course, you'll have a floor. It's not sand. On sand, there is an insulation layer, and then they will have a carpet on it. So it's not going to be cold. The floor will be warm, but as warm as it can be in January, where the minimum temperature is going to be 10 degrees Celsius, and in daytime it probably
Even
will be
less
the mid
sometimes,
20s.
even
Yeah,
less.
it would be even less. I mean,
Maybe
weather.com
four,
shows 9
5 degrees
degrees.
as well, sometimes.
One more question on chat, Hemant. Sorry, I'll just answer the questions on chat. The difference between Shahi Snan and Major Snan, uh, the Shahi Snans on those days, what they say is all the main Akhadas, which is the main groups of saints, where they go in kind of like a royal parade to the Sangam for the dip. So hence they call it Shahi or a royal bath. So, and those are the considered to be the most auspicious days in the entire phase of the Kumbh Mela to have a bath. Um, those that strictly believe in it. The other days are auspicious days anyway, like it's the full moon day, or it is the fifth day from the moon, or the seventh day from the moon. There is some astrological significance to those days, which honestly I don't understand fully. But I'm just relaying what the Kumbh Mela, what the saints have all come up, what the astrologers have come up, and that's what we are sharing. And since it has been announced as the main dates based on the astrological calculations, having a bath on those days is auspicious. And of course, having a bath over there in Mohanji's presence is even more powerful.
Then also to add to what Madhu said is these 45 days itself is a very auspicious time to have dips. So even if you are not there or you are not able to come during that Shahi Snan times or special Snan times, even if you're coming before or after them and you take a dip, it's equally very auspicious because these 45 days of constellation of this entire Kumbh Mela is meant for that. So anyway, if you are there during that period, which is not the non-Shahi Snan days, and you can take a dip there, it's equally, not equally of course, but it's as special as any other times.
So will participants like you have, to go from the camp to the place where we take the dip?
Boats,
So
boats.
you have to go in boats, right? So
Yes, yeah,
will
yes,
the
yes, boats.
boats be arranged on a daily basis
Yes,
or okay?
Yes.
we are we no, we are arranging boats on the Snan days. On the other days, if people want to go to Sangam, we will set you up. We will
Okay.
not arrange them. As organizers, we will arrange the boats and arrange the group to go. We will take responsibility for taking the group on the days of the main snans. On other days, we'll anyway do an arrangement with the boat guys because there's a whole bunch of them to take people from the Moji village. So we'll do an arrangement and set you up. So whoever would like to go on any other day, I mean, you can do dips every day if you like at the Sangam. Even otherwise, if you want to take a dip in the Ganga, it's just 200 meters from our village. Just go straight, walk towards the river, take a dip, and come back. That's also an option.
It's about going to the Sangam where
Yeah.
the
If you want
boats
to
will.
go to the Sangam, then you will need boats. It's
Okay.
about 1.5 kilometers from our place. 1.5 kilometers or so. You can actually see it from our place, but it's on water. It will take you some time.
How safe it is for older people to go by boat and taking
Safe,
the dips
safe,
also?
safe.
Yeah.
No problem.
Okay.
I mean, you have to take precautions. They'll give you a life jacket and all that. At the Sangam itself, if it is anything like 2019, the water level they manage such that you can stand over there on the sand. So
Okay.
it's not deep water. Like last month when we went, last month was the last one. So they create this platform which is suspended between two boats. So you get off from the boat on and land on the platform, which is so you have a floor which is held up with walls which are held between two boats because the water level is high. When it comes to the actual Kumbh Mela, I guess they manage the flow of water in something.
The water comes to your knee,
Yeah.
less than your knee level.
Last time I remember, it was very hard
Yes.
for me to actually get my head into the
That
water. I had to
yes,
literally
it
like
was
squat.
being tall. Correct.
It was, you have to manage that. Okay, I have to allow Hemant to ask the question, otherwise he's not going to pay our bills later.
No, see, but these are questions I think you can answer. I'm happy to wait. My question is nothing to do with this because I'm familiar with the setup. So you can go ahead and answer all the questions related to how
Okay.
you're going to take the deep, etc.
Mm.
So my question is different. I just group of us came back from this ACT activity this morning, and people are querying those who have already paid and when they are going to receive the confirmation that their
You
payments
will
has
the
received, registration
the
bill.
So the people that have paid, your names are already in the system, your email IDs are already in the system. Sometime later today, everybody will get an email, or maybe by tomorrow morning. All you have to do is go to the website, and if you put in the email ID and your dates, it will show you what advance you have paid. So then, depending on the type of accommodation that you choose, whether it's a yeah, it's in the cottage or in the six people tent or in the four people tent, you will know what is the balance amount that has to be paid, and you can complete. So you're already in the system. So you just have to put in your email, and then it'll show you the rest of it. So you have to just complete the process. Anyway, a reminder email has already been triggered. It should probably go out today or tomorrow, because it's a whole bunch of people.
Thank you. I'll let people know. I don't think that time when the people made the payment, there was specifics on cottage or how many.
It wasn't, because we were also not sure about what kind of a layout we're going to get, how much land we're getting, what is the setup we're doing. All of that got clear only in the last 2 weeks or so. So now construction started earlier this week. So we have more clarity on the overall cost as well, because we couldn't work out what should be the contribution amount till we had all of that information in place. We just kind of started all that. I mean, yeah, I just want to highlight this is our first time. So for us also, this is a completely massive project. We are setting up a whole village. It has accommodation, it has a satsang hall, it has a full-fledged kitchen, it has a vegan cafe, it has exhibition area, it has a temple, a homa. Mohanji is going to have his own quarters. We made some VIP quarters for saints that would come to see Mohanji. We have an office, we have a reception, we have housekeeping, we have sewage management. Literally, we are setting up like a mini city. So all of that within 1 month. So it's a huge exercise. So we just ask for a little bit of patience, because we are not experts in this. We're also figuring it out with Monji's blessing. Somehow it's all happening.
So Madhu, another request rather. So I heard you saying 23rd is not possible because there will be 100 plus people. But for
Mm.
many of us, it's just not possible that we go for the Sai Snan dates and go for the birthday dates.
Yeah.
So if 23rd, Snan can be organized with Mohanji, that would be great, because we won't be there on the Sai Snan. And so if it's not possible at all, then that's fine. But if it can be organized, then that's a request. If not 23rd,
Okay.
one of those days, between 19th to 23rd, one of those days with Mohanji.
Good. We'll take a note of it. We'll see what we can do. I understand. We'll see what we can do. I don't have the answer right now, but I understand where you're coming from. Let us see what's possible from our side.
Thank you.
Oliver,
Hello, everyone. Thank you, Madhu. Thank you, Preeti and Harish. Well, it's my first time in Kumbh Mela, and also it's my first time in India. So I have some questions. First, apart from this rubber heater that Preeti mentioned, do you recommend us to take sleeping bags with us?
Not necessary.
Sorry?
Not necessary. I don't think it is necessary. It will just bulk up your luggage, because you will have cots, you will have home mattresses, you'll have blankets.
Blankets.
So have things that are easy for you to move around with. So maybe carry thermals, maybe carry jackets, so that even if let's say the blanket is not thick enough for you, or on that particular day it's a bit colder than normal, then you have extra layers of warmth. Our suggestion would be to layer, because in the day it's warm. I mean, from memory from last time, during the day you don't need any sweaters. It's pleasant. In the early mornings it's chilly, and the nights it's chilly. So you need to have layers, because sometimes when the wind blows, the weather also changes during the day. So you might need a wind cheater or pullover or whatever. So have thermals and have layers. That is a far more
Yeah.
practical thing for
Woolen
you to do.
socks, woolen caps,
Yeah.
mufflers, all these things would be very handy.
So that you can like take things off and add them based on the weather pattern.
So you mean jackets or some layers of clothes are quite enough for the night
Yeah.
for sleeping, and your
Yes.
blankets.
Yeah.
See,
And-
and the tent is not open. It's closed. So once you close it and there's 3 or 4 people in the tent,
Okay.
naturally it's not going to be that cold. It'll not be heated, of course, but it won't be that bad.
Okay. And the toilets and the bathrooms are not in the tent. They are outside. I didn't understand.
Yeah, it's a common block. So you
Yeah.
have to understand how the toilet and bathroom system works. We can, in the cottage, it's a line of cottages. All the bathrooms are stacked up next to each other so that the output from those goes into one line and then it goes out. Now, in the tent layout, that's not possible to do. So we have a row of bathrooms and a row of toilets in a particular zone, which is just adjacent to the tents. And those are shared. So you will need to go, you sleep in the tent, but you go to the bathroom and to the toilet, use it, and then you come back. So it's like let's say like a dormitory arrangement. So you have a whole bunch of toilets and bathrooms, and all the people in the tent would use them. And we are sizing the number of toilets and bathrooms based on the expected occupancy level, so that we don't have long lines forming over there, because that would be quite challenging for people.
Okay. And tell me, the last question is, I don't know what is on 29 January and on 3rd February,
Mhm.
Mauna Amavasaya and Bas.
Yeah,
Please
Basant
can you tell
Panchami.
us something?
These are the Amavasya means new moon. So that particular new moon is considered a very auspicious day to take a dip. And Basant Panchami is
What?
the
Sorry,
fifth.
Madhu, to take a dip, isn't it?
Take a dip, take a
Okay.
bath in the Sangam. Sangam is what we call the confluence of three rivers, Ganga, Yamuna, and Saraswati. Where three rivers meet is called a Sangam. So having a bath at the Sangam on that particular day is considered auspicious. And Mauni Amavasya of the royal bath days is the busiest. In 2019, which was the 6-year Kumbh, not even the 12-year Kumbh, we had 50 million people on that day taking a dip in the river, in the Sangam.
Mm.
They are expecting it will be more this year. So you might have 60, 70, whatever, we don't know. Um, but nothing to worry. We are going with Mohanji, or Mohanji is kind of leading us. So usually around us a bubble forms. So when we go, there is emptiness. So hopefully the same experience will continue. But nonetheless, it is very, very busy. So it's going to be quite a challenge. Keep the whole flock together, because in a boat only 10 people can go. So let's say, I don't know how many people, let's say we're 100 people. So you're going to be like 10 different boats and trying to get everybody to go at the same time, come back at the same time. It's a logistical challenge, but we'll manage. So what is important about that day is that, like I explained earlier, there is some astrological calculations based on which they say that having a dip at the Sangam on that day has great spiritual value. Likewise for the 3rd of Feb. I don't think beyond that you need to know too much, because what is the specific astrological value? I don't know enough. I can find out and tell you, but what will you do with that information also?
Can I explain a bit, Madhu?
Sure.
Okay, so Mauni Amavasya is the new moon, and Mauni means in Hindi, it means being silent. So it is said that the day when you take a bath or a dip, or you do your sadhanas during that time, it brings stillness and quietness into you. So that is why people who are like the monks and the religious masters, or anybody, they actually invite people, or they recommend people to have a snan there. Snan means that anyway, why first we need to understand why having a dip at that confluence of the rivers. So the story, sorry, I'll cut very shortly. I'll tell you the story that when there was the Amrit Manthan when happened, there were one side which were the gods and goddesses, and do you call them gods and goddesses, Madhu? What do you call them?
You
Okay,
call
I
them
think
deities. Deities,
deities. Yeah. And the other sides were demons. So
Devas.
Sorry, not
devas and
deities.
the
You're
demons.
talking about the devas. Devas, demigods. Let's call them demigods.
Yeah. And there was the Sheshnag, or the snake, the on which Lord Vishnu sits, was the like a tug of war that was happening, and he was the rope to the tug of war. And from the center, the crust of the earth, when what do you call Amrit, Harish?
Sure. Nectar.
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 nectar came out, the demons got it, and it was said that whosoever has that will become, will never perish in their life ever, will never die. So the demons got hold of that pot and they started running. So the demigods also ran behind them to get hold of them, that if just in case they have this nectar, they will never die and it will be bad for the world. So few drops of that nectar fell down at 4 places, which is Prayagraj, Haridwar, Nasik, and Ujjain. And that is why every 12 years, when that constellation of stars happen, this Kumbh Mela is happening. So it's always said that when you take a dip during that period or constellation of stars, it's auspicious. It clears a lot of your karmic baggage or ancestral baggage from the lineage as well as your own personal karmas. So Mauni Amavasya is one of those very powerful times, which is a new moon day on which it is said Mauni. Mauni means, as I earlier said, to be quiet. Quieter means not talking but going within and being quiet. And Basant Panchami is the day, according to the Hindu calendar, the day the winter ends and the spring starts.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Preeti, for this clarification. And just one practical thing, because the big group from Balkans are departing on 4th February, before this very auspicious day on 3rd. So we are thinking about, how we're going to organize this, our departure, And
Don't worry, Olivera. When Mohanji is there, everything falls in place. Of course, I'm not saying that there won't be any struggles on that. But anyway, if the intention is put, we will try our best to accommodate everything, and it will happen, of course.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Madhu, there are some questions in the chat.
I'm answering.
Yeah.
Oliver, you're leaving on 4th, right? The dip is on the 3rd. What is the problem?
Yeah, because it has been said that there'll be some problems with the traffic on the 4th.
On the 4th, it will open up. The 3rd is the Shahi Snan. The 4th, they will not have the traffic blockages. So you should be okay for 4th.
Oh, okay. Okay. Then I didn't understand well. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Yeah.
The
There was
question
another
was,
question.
what can you wear for the dips, Madhu?
That we've answered. So ideally, you should have something that, especially for the ladies, see that crowd over there has all kinds of people. So we have no control on who's actually there at the Sangam at the time that we go. So ideally, something that covers you respectively, both at the, on the upper and the lower, at least till your knees, and have quick dry kind of clothes. That is better, like sport clothing, right? So that would be better. There are tents that they create at the Sangam area where you can change, or if you want to wait till you come back to the camp and change, that's what a lot of people did last time. That is another option. So you
It's
just hang
always
around in there.
preferable because there are too many people. So it's always preferable to take your towels with you when you're going for the dip. As Madhu said, wear a t-shirt, like a quick dry one, a t-shirt and like a track bottom or pajamas. And you can just take the dip, cover yourself because it's warm during the time when we go for the dip. So you
That's
won't.
fine. I don't mind my saying. Because then I can
Asha, please, can you mute yourself?
Oh, sorry.
So you won't find it to be very chilly at that time. It's pretty warm because the sun is out by that time. We go around 10:30. And you can just
Didi, we
wrap
don't know the
yourself.
time. No, hold on. We
Yeah,
don't know the time.
approximate I'm saying, Madhu. Not, of course, time we don't know.
No, we might go early. That is why I'm saying we don't know that yet.
Okay, no
There is
problem.
apparently some process for application and all that. All the new sanskars have to apply. Mohanji's asked me to
Acha,
apply.
okay.
So we don't know the answer to that question yet. But
But
nonetheless,
anyway,
I
you
think
can just wrap yourself in the towel, or you can take a shawl or something with you. Just wrap yourself and come back to your own room or a tent or space and just have another fresh bath or something and then change. Preferably, we all did that last time.
Okay. There was one question about can we arrange flight tickets? As organizers, it's very difficult for us to do that given the number of people and things we have to handle. Specifically, I think Mr. Murthy had asked that question. We can have somebody reach out to him and help because he may need help. So we can, if he writes to events at Guru Light, we will see if we can, as on a special case, help it. But in general, we can't arrange travel for people, flights at least, flights and trains. Once you get to the airport and you tell us all the details, we can help with the picnic and stops. That we can help you with.
Sorry, can I ask a question?
Please do.
Okay, so me and my husband, we're coming, but we're coming on the 22nd. We'll get there on the 21st of February, and we were thinking of taking the dip on the 22nd of February. Is that okay? How because
Completely okay. You
I
can.
looked on the website, it said from the 13th of January to the 26th of February. So we're only coming for a week to India, but we're coming to the Kumbh Mela on the 21st, and we're going to be there on the 22nd of February. So can you please advise me? Can we join you? Because it's just me and my husband. We don't know anybody
can.
there. This is our first
Yeah, you can.
time.
No, you're most welcome. You can take a dip any of the days you're here. What we were trying to explain is that on the days of the major snans or the major baths, we will arrange boats to take people as a group to the Sangam at a specified time slot. On other days, whoever is staying with us, we will facilitate that trip to the Sangam by a boat because we will have an ongoing arrangement with the boat guys. So we will fix rates and whatever. So as long as you identify that you're from here, because we're also going to have these bracelets, because the camp is big and there's going to be lots of people coming in and out. So even for access to food and so on, you will need to show the bracelet. So if you show the bracelet, the board guy will be able to take you. And if it is practically feasible, we can have someone accompany you also. But cut the long answer short, you can take dips on any day you want. There's absolutely no bar on that. The only thing we're talking about is where we organize for the whole group. That is the only thing that we're discussing. But while you're there, you're staying with us, you want to go and take a dip twice a day, you're most welcome to do so. Nobody's going to stop you. It's completely your design.
Right. Okay. It's just me and my husband would feel comfortable if we come attend with you as a group. And the bracelets, where
Well,
do we get the bracelets from?
we'll do that when you check in. So you'll have like you go to concerts, they give the band kind of thing, right? So something like that we'll have to do. Not exactly a bracelet, like a band. Maybe it's the wrong word, I guess, not a bracelet,
but
but
where would
something
we
to
find
identify that you're
you?
part. You would get that at the time of check-in.
So where would be the camp? Where would we? Because we're staying at a hotel, so we were thinking of and coming and joining you on the day of the.
Okay.
And where would we find you? Just because it's so big and vast.
We have an address. We will put a Google pin. You can come and find us. But just to clarify, all the arrangements that we're talking about are for people that are staying with us. So we've really not, at the moment, announced any plans for a non-residential status. So it's we'll have to work that out. So if you would like to come only for the dip or only for certain programs, then we'll have to figure out how to make that work. But we will. If you could please send an email, events at Guru Light.
Hold on.
We'll
Let
take
me
note
make
of
a
it.
note. Sorry, I'll just quickly write this down. Sorry.
I'll write it again. I'll write it again on the group. Our email ID.
Yeah.
Sorry, what's the email? Sorry.
Events@gurulight.com.
He just put it in the comments, in the chat,
The chat.
section.
Events at
Gurulight.com.
Events at gurulight.com.
Yes. Yes.
Gurulight.com. Thank you so much. It's because we're coming from London and it's the first time we're attending, so we don't know. But as long as we're with
We'll we'll
so
we'll answer your question separately because at the moment we have not really made plans for non-residential. All of our plans are for people, which is I think 90%, 95% of the people that are going to be have been writing to us. But maybe there are more like you, and we have to make arrangements. So we'll come back to you on how we can facilitate.
Just to add, Asha, there are a lot of people coming from London, and we have a separate WhatsApp group as well for the people coming in. So you can contact me or Shama, and for any details and things like we can help you as well.
okay, I need to be added in to the WhatsApp group.
Yeah, I can send you the link as long as I have your contact details. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Okay, so then I'll have to give that to you separately. And
Yeah.
I'll give that to you. Sorry, I didn't want to interrupt the meeting. It's just that because you said it's to the 3rd of February, because we were going on the 22nd. It's still auspicious, yeah. You'd have the dip on the
Everything, every day is auspicious in the 45 days, which is the whole Kumbh Mela period is auspicious. Now,
Okay.
there are grades of auspiciousness that some people have decided. So we just move on.
Right. Okay, that's fine. Thank you so much.
I have
Okay.
one quick question, if I may ask.
Please do.
I just went into the website and I saw that you have the cottages and the different, excuse me, tents for 4 people and 6 people. So the registration that has already been paid, that's part of it? Okay.
What you have paid, we will deduct from whatever you choose. So, for
Right,
example,
right.
for if someone were to choose the 6% tent, it's 5,999, and what you might have paid is 5,000. So, if you now choose the 6% tent, then per day there's a difference of 999 that you would need to pay into the number of days that you choose to stay in. Likewise, I mean, so the 5,000 that you paid, we will already consider. So you
So
only
when
have to
I
pay for the bill.
So when I go to pay, so suppose say I want the cottage. So when I go to pay, I just pay the balance from whatever I
Absolutely.
paid for
Correct.
the days,
Correct.
right? Okay.
That is
And
correct.
another
That is
quick
correct.
question. So for the pickup, I didn't really go into the whole website. I was just looking at the rates. So the pickup, I mean, the flight information would be also on that so that,
No, we will do that separately once we have
okay.
registrations. Once we
Mhm.
have the list of final registrations. See, we've done this in stages. The earlier advance payment we asked primarily to get a sense of the actual demand. So
Right,
we've
right.
actually used that information to size our accommodation because
Mhm.
based on that, we got a very good signal because people have actually put down money. So it's a serious expression of intent. We've got a good signal of what is the preliminary demand, even before like a formal announcement. So we've
Okay.
used that and bulked it up to size up our accommodation. And we have
Okay.
done cottage and tent so that we have a variety of prices to suit people's requirements. But obviously, we have a fixed number of cottages, we have a fixed number of tents of 4 people, and a fixed number of tents of 6 people. So, depending on what happens in the next 1 week, we have to see if we have tell some people that oh, on such and such day, there's a bit of a capacity mismatch. You want to change, or we have to add some extra capacity. We have to make all those decisions on the fly now, which you can because we've just started construction. But we did that early on so that we get indications from people so we know how to go about things. Now the whole picture is clear, construction is happening. As people pay is when your registration is complete. Just to clarify, people who paid the advance before obviously have a preference, but unless your full payment is complete, you don't have your place like locked. So
Correct.
that I just want to because I want to make that clear. So if someone were to make the assumption that because I have paid 5,000 into 5 or 5,000 into 3 or whatever before, my place is confirmed, that won't be the case. You have preference. Until you make the
Mhm.
full payment, your place is not actually confirmed.
Correct. Yeah, got it. Thank you, Madhu.
There was one other question. Is there a minimum number of days that you have to stay? There isn't, but around Shahi Snan, you have to stay at least 3 nights. Practically, there isn't. So if you were to come on the 6th of February and you want to go on the 7th of February, no problem. You can, because it's a non-peak day. But if you want to attend the 29th of January Snan, then you have to come on the 27th latest. And you can only leave on the 30th. So you have to have 3 nights at least around the Shahi Snan days. Be on the safe side if you can, 4 days. So that's what we would recommend. Other than that constraint, there is no minimum. I mean, if you want to just come for a day, all the distance and just spend a day, we have no problem.
And just to add to Madhu's point, those 2 days that we are recommending, again, it's for your benefit, given the traffic blockades and so on and so forth. So, for you to be there for the Sahi Snan for those remaining days, except the first one, it's good to be there at least 2 days prior. Will save you some good time and retain some memories as well. You don't want to experience.
Also, yeah, correct. Anand, that's correct. And also, I would recommend that when you're flying down from such far places, you're coming, making all the effort to be there, just to feel the place and to understand how it works and how it is always recommended 3 to 4 days. 1 or 2 days is too short a visit to even get a glimpse of the entire space, like the entire area. You will not even understand what is happening. You will just come maybe to our village, meet Mohanji, attend few programs and have a dip and go back. But I would highly recommend that if you're coming, make sure you at least have 3 to 4 days in your hand, so that to feel the space, to feel the energy of that area, to see exactly how our Sanatan Dharma works. How is it to see the main areas where the Mela is happening, the temples around, which are very, very powerful temples, powerful spaces. So recommended that we need to, 3 to 4 days is minimum that you should be there.
The other thing I would say, just for you to get a sense of the scale, this area estimated for this whole tent city. So you have to understand the whole thing is temporary. It just lasts 45 days. 3,700 hectares is the official estimate. 3,700 hectares of temporary tents. Last time they had 1 lakh tents is what? 10 million, right? 100 lakh tents they had. No, 1 lakh tents. 1 lakh tents is 100,000 tents. They had 100,000 tents last time. And the estimated visitors last time was 150 million. 2 days ago, the government released a note saying they're expecting this time that 450 million people will visit. Even if you assume that it is not 450 and it is 250, you can just imagine that in 45 days, you are expecting 250 million people to visit that particular area. And having met the authorities this time a few times, they are taking a lot of initiative to make it very interesting for people. So they have like a cultural village where artisans from around the country are displaying their wares. They have some digital kumbh, they have some digital museum. So there's lots of different things besides, of course, the purely spiritual traditional things where you go and see the various saints and masters and the Acharyas or the groups of sadhus, houses of the sadhus. So there's plenty to do. 3 days, you would get a feel for it. Less than that, you will probably feel that there's more to see and you couldn't really pick and choose. So you need
4 days is
time.
minimum ideal, I would say. Because you will not get a feel of it. It's huge. It's huge. You won't even feel like what when Madhu is telling you that you can't even visualize how it is. It's like a complete city which is being built up around the river on both the sides, both the banks of the river. And they have these pontoons or bridges, makeshift bridges, and very solid. Don't worry, you will fall down in them. No, no way. Because our Indian army makes them, so we are very proud of that they really do a great job. And you really will feel the essence of what Mohanji talks about our dharma, about our culture, about the ancient aspect of our civilization, India, Hinduism. you will get the feel of that. And there are many, many masters, some masters which are known, which are in the body, as it is said. And I'm not confirming this, but I'm just saying that this is what we have been listening to since childhood. There are many, many masters who only come to these places. They are hidden all around the years, but they come during this time. Many communities of sadhus and all who come only during this time, they show their face. Otherwise, they disappear away from the people. They are never seen. So this is very spectacular way of looking at things, looking at the whole essence of being there.
Is there anything that people need to take care, when they are
Yeah,
they
there are
come to
two,
the
three things which is
like
very
do's and
important.
don'ts?
Yes,
Yeah.
Harish. Thank you for pointing it out. There are two, three things which is very, very important, especially for people who are foreigners, who don't understand the local language, because English is also a little difficult for people to understand in that area. Usually people speak in Hindi, but the two things that we would recommend and highly ask our people to do is, don't carry too heavy bags with you, money, stuff, because being a foreigner, they have an attraction towards foreigners, and they think that all the foreigners are very rich and they have a lot of money, and also there might be pickpocketers as well. So when you are moving in that common areas, common spaces, take minimal money. Make sure that your passport is well kept, protected. If anybody is asking for, like, begging and asking for food or money, please don't do that. Just ignore that. And thirdly, don't deviate from the group. If you are going in a group, be just confined with the group. Sometimes people just don't realize they are in a group and they sway away into a different way, or they just don't realize they have missed on the group. So that is important that you stay in the group. Then you are definitely completely protected. Our people, volunteers, hopefully during that period, somebody would be there to help you if you are going in a group. So be confined to the group. My point is that don't deviate to different spaces, different paths. And if you do that, of course, you can reach back to our village, but you might get lost as well.
Any other questions?
It would be better when you're going for a bath to leave the passports in the village itself. You don't need to take your valuables and your passports for the day.
Preeti, do you suggest any kind of specific footwear because it's all sand, or it doesn't
Rubber
matter?
slippers is good enough.
Okay,
Like bathroom
thank you.
slippers is good.
Basically, something that you don't mind losing.
Yeah,
Yes.
nothing expensive.
Please don't wear some fancy, and definitely not some fancy heels, because it's not going to be comfortable to walk.
It's all sand.
Madhu, I
Yeah.
don't think I've ever worn heels.
No. And the question, you are asking the question that many others might have, so I'm answering all of that.
Yeah, I know. I was told that, it's very difficult wear those flip-flops or wear those what do you call them, Birkenstocks and all. So I was like
Yeah.
just wondering what kind of,
Best is
Yeah.
to have your slippers, like rubber slippers or bathroom slippers, or
chappals.
Crocs. Crocs also is a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good enough. And clothes which are not very expensive, so that just in case you lose something, you don't feel bothered about it.
Yeah.
And another question is okay, we got a schedule within the village where you have like yoga, you have satsang and things like that. Is there anything that people will be taken out as well?
Yes.
Yes. So there are some things that we are planning, which is guided tour of the Kumbh Mela and a couple of places in and around Prayagraj itself, because there is the fort nearby, and inside the fort there are some ancient things to see and so on. So that we will arrange. We might Actually, not we might. We will plan excursions to, let us say, Varanasi, Ayodhya on specific dates. It can't be done during the peak period. So just to be clear, when the Shahi Snan time is happening, it is absolutely crazy trying to go to any of these places. So on other days we will plan. So for example, between the 27th and the 3rd, trying to take people anywhere outside when there is like what is 6 crores, 60 million people flooding here and going there is going to be complete nightmare. So on other days we will plan. So depending on the dates, we will announce that in the next few days, the days on which we are planning the excursions. We plan to do that a few times over the course of the Kumbh Mela. For others who want to go, where we are not necessarily taking them, we will also see if we can facilitate for them to go on their own. So if you want to arrange a car and we provide you the details, you go with somebody and come back, we'll see if that is possible. But from last time's experience, when our group went to Kashi and came back, it was very, very challenging, extremely challenging. Because we are one out of some 10,000 people thinking that same way, or 1 million people thinking the same great idea, that while you come there, let us see everything. So we just snowed under by numbers. But we'll make that plan of a few days.
One more question, Harish, which I saw was about the towels. Yes, we will provide one towel each to all the people who are checking in. But if you want to get your like dry fit towels, you're more than welcome to get them.
Yeah.
Okay, regarding the travel from the airport or the railway station to the
You
village,
have
we have
to
to.
write to the events group,
No,
like on
we'll
to
create a Google
the
form. Hold on.
yeah.
No. We'll create a Google form
Okay.
because writing will get swamped with emails.
Maybe
We'll make a Google form or some kind of a form where people can fill in details. Then day by day we'll arrange it and we'll have a travel desk because we found some. We'll have one volunteer handling the travel desk, coordination
Okay.
with the travel agent and arranging cars by time and so on. Because on the same day we might have multiple. See, there are a few peak days, which is what we need to really plan for. The other days are easy. Like say for example, 26th or 27th is going to be crazy. Likewise, 12th will be very, very busy. Then in the February, 9th will be very busy. Then again, maybe 17th, 18th, 19th will be very busy. 24th will be very busy. So we know the peak days. So those days we have to handle. The other days are easy.
Okay. The thing is, a lot of people have already booked their flights, and
Yeah.
more details actually came in later. So
Yeah.
they're trying to now adjust or see how they can fit in.
No, I
One
understand.
day,
The thing is, we were trying to also speed this up as much as we could. Um, we were also fighting against time
yeah, we
because
we
getting the
have.
contractor fit up and some of the things about the additional snans and so on. That guidance came from Mohanji also when it came. So as soon as it came, we shared.
Okay. There are a lot of people now who had booked the tickets and realized that the Shahi Snan is not within those dates. But they also need to understand that on other days also you can go and take dips if they can't
Absolutely.
adjust the dates. Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
See, Harish, from 13th of January till 27th of February is completely auspicious.
Mm. Yeah.
That is
Yeah.
why this whole program of Kumbh Mela is being organized in those 45 days, not other
Okay.
days.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
even if you miss on any Shahi snans or you miss on any special snans, it's perfectly all right. Even if during that period you go and take a dip, it's perfect.
Yeah. Any last questions? I think we are over time as well. Anybody has any other questions? If not, then we can close the call.
Madhu, as I understand you,
Oh,
27 January is going to be crazy, but you will still find out a way to organize that
Yeah,
connection.
yes, we will. We will. We'll help you. Don't worry.
We are arriving at 27 January.
Many people are arriving on 27th, so we will make our arrangements. So because 29th is a very important date, a lot of people are coming in on 27th, so we will make arrangements. Don't worry.
Thank you.
Hi, Madhu. Prashant here. You mentioned that there was in your previous visit, right, during a Kumbh Mela, you tried to visit to Kashi and then come back, and you mentioned that there were challenges.
Yeah.
In case if any one of us, right, who wants to take our family members to take them to Kashi, specifically before the first Shahi Snan, would you like to give some highlights of what sort of challenges we can encounter so
The
that we can be well prepared to handle that? Thank you.
the primary challenge is crowd. The number one challenge is crowd, because if you assume that for the Shahi Snan, 6 crores is what, 60 million, right? 60 million people are showing up. Even if 1% of or 1% of those people decide that they will also go to Kashi around that same time, then that's the crowd that you're handling. Our challenge was that we had a bus, we had a group of maybe 30, 40 people going to Kashi.
More
So
than
it's like
that,
her,
Madhu. We
I
had
don't
more.
remember, whatever number of people we had, let's say 50, 60 we had, 70, whatever we had, herding all of them, taking them to the temple, then taking them to Kashi, putting them in a boat, having a ride on the Ganga, and then herding all of them back into the bus and bringing was a logistical challenge. The second thing to understand is that Kashi Vishwanath temple specifically does not allow foreigners to have darshan. So many of the people that go over there, you can only go up to the gate. You can't actually enter and have darshan of the Lord, of the Shivaling, of the Jyotirlinga over there. So that is also something to be borne in mind. You can have a visit to Kashi, get an experience, but when it is so crowded, just walking in the bylanes and so on, when you have a large group, especially if you have foreigners, is from an organizer's point of view, we look at people's safety also. So we are very concerned that somebody shouldn't misbehave with our people. Now, if people go on their own, then at least in that sense we can facilitate. We won't carry that moral responsibility that we are going with them, we have to take care of them. We can warn, but when we take people, it becomes our responsibility to ensure their well-being, right? So that is what is the challenge when it is super crowded like this. I hope that answers your question.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you.
Any other
Somebody
questions?
asked, sorry, Harish, one
Yes.
question I think we have missed is that somebody asked for about the food part of it. There was a question about is it available or something like that.
Have we answered that? Anyway, you repeat.
If whenever there will be 3 slots for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, whosoever are checking in. Secondly, there will be a vegan cafe which would be there on chargeable basis. So if you have somehow missed those slots and would like to buy something, you can pick up from the vegan cafe as well.
Yeah, there is one question asked about is it safe to put the passport? We answered that. I think it's suggested to keep it in the village, right?
Yeah,
The
yeah,
passport
absolutely.
and things before. Yeah,
Yeah.
and there's another question. Is there any suggested sadhana which Ananta had replied saying about joining the 60 million chant?
Yeah,
That
Or
60
is the correct
is
million
there
chant
anything
is
else?
a good idea.
That is the
Otherwise,
that is
also,
the best answer.
yeah.
Uh, yeah, I think we have answered all the questions, but Madhu, we'll have one more session, right? People have to go back and they'll digest all these things. They might have more questions. We'll have one more session later on. More people can come and ask
No
questions.
problem. We can do next week might be a challenge, but week after we could plan. I mean, we'll see. You figure out the list of questions coming through, Harish, and then we can plan. No problem.
Okay, okay, that's great.
And
Yeah,
also,
okay.
most of the information, question and answers are there on the website. So, and then they can write to events as well. So, I don't think so
Yeah, I
that
mean,
would be.
we've made note of a few other things that we will add to the FAQs based on some of the
Yeah,
interaction that we've had today. We made a initial list of FAQ questions and answers that is on the website already. Based on the questions today, we will add some more.
yeah,
But our request is that please look at all the details on the website, because many of the questions that some people have about Mohanji's schedule, what is the Shahistan and so on, we've tried to answer on the website. And Himali, yes, we will make a WhatsApp group, but we need all the registrations to come through, because then otherwise we'll wait for another week or 10 days before we can do that.
Thank you.
Maria, you want us to repeat on sadhana? Okay, so on all the groups, there is an announcement that has gone on about a global initiative to complete 1 million chants before Mohanji's birthday. So if you join that, then you commit to doing a certain number of chants of Mohanji Gayatri every day and you update because we are globally across the world, we are trying to get uh, the total chant count to be a million at a global level as the Mohanji family. So we are trying to get more people to sign up to that. If you would like to join and be part of it, that becomes a sadhana for yourself. Of course, you can do any other sadhana. You can pick any mantra. You can do kriya. That's a completely individual choice. Um, whatever suits you. There's no compulsion one way or the other.
I think we'll close the session for today. Madhu, a lot of people are thanking the organization for organizing this big event, making it easier for the people.
It's all Mohanji's
We,
grace.
yes.
We know how it started. One fine day, he said, next year we'll have our own facility at the Kumbh. We didn't know head or tail of what he was talking about, but it set things in motion. One day,
And
suddenly, when
Harish,
we were at Ganesh Puri, he said, next year we're having our own facility. He just looked at me in the middle of the satsang and said, next year we will have our own facility. Okay, Madhu? Okay. It wasn't even no warning given, nothing. He just made one statement one day. So that's how it all started.
And Harish, you won't believe everything is followed like as if it was tailor made for us. Of course, effort is going. Mamu and Madhu are really, and the Guru Light team, not me, but the rest of the Guru Light team who are behind the desks are really working hard on it. But it was actually that everything fell in place as if Mohanji had orchestrated it even before.
We can definitely see the hand of grace on how
Yeah.
things are working out. Even the land that we've got, where we've got our allocation, for someone doing the Kumbh Mela setup for the first time, it's unbelievably beautiful what we've received.
Beautiful
So
space.
it's definitely grace. And like Dhugal said, Princey, Anita, Shivani, they're all working very hard behind the scenes because there's million queries coming in and payments tracking and whatnot. So it's not easy,
And
but
that
it's
is
all
what
it's all happening.
I would
It's all
request
happening.
everybody that you have put in any mail, you have transferred the money, just be a little patient because sometimes it takes 2 to 3 days to reply you back because they are working in and out, and with retreats also happening around the same time. It's sometimes a bit difficult for them to reply back immediately. So I would request all of you or people who are applying later to have a bit of patience with them. If you don't get hear from them in 3 to 4 days, then definitely you are most welcome to contact me personally, or you can write to events or whatever. But uh, just have a bit of patience with our team. I understand everybody's concerned because it is a lot of money that you are transferring and you want to know the confirmation if the money has reached or not. But it's sometimes a challenge for the team to confirm everything at that very moment.
All right. I'll close the session. Thank you, Madhu, Preeti, Anand, for coming in and explaining and answering all these questions. It was very useful. Thank you.
Madhu and Prithiji, I just came back from Prayagraj in September. I was there for the Asti Visarjan, so I have seen a different Prayagraj during the flooding time. So I think people, those who haven't seen that part, they would see a very transformed Prayagraj in February. So
Heman Bhai, for us also it's the same. When I and Madhu went in September, the rivers were all swollen up, and the spaces we didn't know where the spaces will come from. And now when we went, it's a completely different space.
The
yeah, it's
the administration really needs a lot of kudos for what they pull off. It's unbelievable.
and Madhu, hopefully those flyovers they are building, that work hopefully would be done because that was the major.
I know. Well,
Yes.
that is what all of the locals of Prayagraj are also hoping because they are fed up.
They are cribbing because of the traffic jams and the
The traffic
nuisance
is so
that it
bad.
is creating for them locally.
And every 3 days, some politician comes and they block traffic. So those guys, like some guys were telling me, We had actually come to the point of wondering why is Kumbh Mela happening over here. Our life has become so miserable moving around. So it's yeah.
All
Well,
will be
Actually,
hopefully,
done.
hopefully.
for them, it's like, seriously, Hemant Bhai, it's like they say that we prefer to move out of our city for a few days when the Kumbh Mela is happening, because for them it's a nightmare. The schools are closed, the children will be home for whole 45 days.
Yeah.
A lot of things and for them it's already started. For us, it would just be 45 days. Their nightmare has already started
True.
now, and after the Kumbh Mela gets over, the clearing and all those will also take a month to be done. So for them, it's a 3 or 4 month ordeal.
I think
It's a
also it's a luxury, right?
That is
What the group is
which I have to go.
putting together is really luxury. I mean, Kumbh used to be all about the river banks, sand banks, but everything that you are putting together is really many notches higher up than what typically people used to experience. So we'll look forward to it.
Absolutely. Harish, I have to go. I have another meeting in 3 minutes. If it's okay, can I please log off?
yeah, yeah. Thank you, Madhu, for
Right.
coming.
Thank you, everybody. Look
Thanks,
forward to
everyone.
seeing you all in January, February,
Thank
sometime.
you.
Bye.
Thank
Thank
you,
you very
Madhu. Thank
much.
you,
Jai
Preeti.
Mohan.
Thank you, Harish. Jai Mohanji.
Thank you.
Thank
Jai
you, Jai
Mohanji.
Mohanji. Thank
Thank
you.
you
Thank
all.
you.
Bye.
Thank you
Jai
all.
Mohanji.
Cheers.
Thank you, organizers.
Jai Mohanji.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Harish, for all this. It makes
Uh,
our life much easier.
we'll set up another one, like Madhu said, in
Yes,
another 2 weeks'
yes.
time, because people
And by
will
that
start
time, we
booking.
will have more clarity also, because see, for us also, as Madhu said, it's the first time. We are also learning as the steps are going further. We don't want to promise anything which we can't deliver.
Correct. Yeah. In I think
So
in 2 weeks' time there will be a bit more
it
clarity.
would be
Yeah.
very, very clear. Madhu is going in next 2-3 days. I'll be there in next 5-7 days. And hopefully, and frankly, Harish, it's my hometown, so I'm even equally more excited than anybody else. I have
Wonderful.
spent my entire childhood being born there. So I'm even extra excited to be there.
Oh, great. Wonderful. Yeah.
Yes.
I think
See
most
you
of us
guys,
will
and
be
I
there.
hope
We all
everybody
will
is
meet
there.
you. Yeah.
We will
Most of
try
us
to
will be
make
there.
it, yes, that would be lovely. And we will try to make it as memorable for you as possible. But if glitches, please forgive us, because it's sometimes some things are not in our hand as well.
The last time I was in India, I think it was back in 2008 when I was at Sati Sai Baba's ashram. So I've been to India 4 times to see Sati Sai Baba, and
Okay.
one time I went on my own, and that was a real experience. So I'm really looking forward to this.
This would be Michael, this would be completely different from the proper ashram. That it's like you're camping in a forest. Here you're camping next to the river.
Oh, wonderful! I spent a memorable time in the sheds in Prashanti.
But believe me, I was there last week. I spent 3 days on our land, which is still barren, was barren about a week, 10 days back. Now the work has started. I didn't feel like coming back, because it was so serene, so quiet. The energy itself around that area is so beautiful that you don't want to go away from that area. So I'm sure whichever intention, see, it's all about our intention. Sometimes when we go with no expectations, everything which comes is like a blessing.
Yeah.
And if we go with 10 expectations that this should be this way and that way, then of course some things would be a nightmare for you. It's dirty, or things have not been done properly, or this is not right and that is not right. But if you come with this intention that you want to experience the essence, the frequency of that space, it is going to be amazing.
Exactly.
And it happens only once in 12 years.
I'm coming twice. I'm coming for 11 days.
Amazing.
Then I'm flying back to the UK. Then I'm coming out for 4 days for Mohanji's birthday.
Perfect. Most welcome.
I can't wait.
Me too.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah. And, most important thing is that this is the largest gathering of people in the world.
Yes.
So you can imagine the
You
crowd.
can't imagine, Harish. I don't know if you've ever attended it. Last time, like I have attended, this would be my, I think, third or fourth, I think, which I remember as my Kumbh Mela that I've attended. And last time was much more clearer, much more well organized. And on the Shahi Snan days, we could only see the heads, nothing else. But no casualties, no accidents, nothing. The organizers, the government has done it so beautifully. There were no accidents, no stampedes, nothing happened, nothing.
Sorry, can I?
Yes, Asha.
Sorry about this. I'm coming for the first time from London. So you know when you do the dip, because I'm hoping to join your group, but if we don't find your group because it's so big, and it's just me and me and my husband, do we do like a full dip, like the whole body dip into?
Yes, Asha, don't worry about that. Don't worry even if you're not staying in this village. You are still part of the Mohanji group. We will try to accommodate you as much as possible. That is why I would recommend you ask Harish to make you join the group so that you have the complete information as to how the things would be. And accordingly, you can take a call. Even if you're staying in a hotel, at that time, you can come there, be a part of the group. And of course, as Madhu says, we had not thought about it as yet. People who are not staying. So we will facilitate all those things as well. Don't worry. But yes, a snan or a dip means that the whole head, till the head, you have to dip yourself in the water.
3 times? Is it 3 times or is it just
minimum
once?
3 times. Minimum.
Minimum
so
3 times.
First is for yourself, one is for your guru, and the third is for your ancestors.
Right. And do we say something? Do we chant something, or do we just think of God? Oh no, or we think of people.
You can just put your attention, or you can chant your guru's Gayatri. You can chant the Gayatri mantra, the normal Gayatri mantra, the choice, or you can chant Om Namah Shivaya. The choice is all yours.
Right. Okay.
It's all about intention.
Okay.
But as
Thank
Mohanji
you.
says, the first dip is for yourself. Then I think he says 5 dips, if I'm not wrong. Then for your parents. Then from both the sides, your mother and the father and the family that you are married in. And then, of course, your ancestors of the family, your gurus, and then for the lineage.
Right. Okay. Okay. Thank you. Thank
Preeti,
you for that.
Preeti, one last question. You know, like
Yes.
people, if there are people who are staying for a long time, who's coming for like 30 days or even for the full time or things like that, do they have facilities for if they want to wash their clothes, like laundry and things like
We will be making a space for washing, but because electricity is a constraint, we don't have washing machines. Either you can wash it yourself, or we are arranging like a washerman who can take your clothes, wash them, iron them, and bring back to the village.
Okay. Okay.
But that would be chargeable, of course.
Of course, yeah.
And Preeti, shall we take our malas for that, or it is
Yeah,
not?
you can. Of course you can.
Just came
Yes, you can.
Thank you.
I think it's a lot of time. I think we'll close the call. Thank you all for joining in. Preeti,
Thank you.
Anand,
Bye-bye,
thank
and
you.
see you soon.
See you all in the Kumbh Mela. Yeah, we'll have another session as well. If you think over it, you'll have more
We are
questions.
fine with it. If people are wanting to ask questions and they have, we are open to it.
Okay.
Maybe
I'll
in
set
2
that
weeks'
up.
time would be a good time. By that time, we will have more clarity about our things. Plus, a lot of people would have registered, like paid up and registered, and many things would be clearer for us as well.
Okay. All right.
Thank
Thank you
you,
all
Hari.
for joining.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Jai Manju.
Thank you very much. Ta-ra.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye.
Thank you.